Hey everyone, welcome back to another portfolio review. We, in the stock market and as investors, have been getting hammered for a month. I've made a video about this a couple times, but this is the last month. Like, everything went down, and I think around here is when I invested a little more, went up, but then it just kept going down and down and down. This is not something that I'm used to as a newer-ish investor. I think I need to do like the 1 year view. That doesn't help very much, but for the most part, it's just been going up and up and up, and you can see how much it's dropped down. Today we had a pretty stable day compared to the last week, which has been up and down very violently. But again, just taking a peek at the last month, $750 down. Almost 30% of my portfolio. If I just glance over to here, let's see if we can look at the last month. The last month alone, we're down $660. Yeah, it's painful to see, but you know, it's nice that I'm able to get a lot of these companies at a really good price. I'll go over in a second what I bought today, but I'm trying to slow down a little bit as far as how much I'm putting in, because I don't know how much farther it's going to go down. And I'm just trying to dollar cost average a little bit more. So that is good. Also, with the fear of, you know, my job as far as, you know, if I'm going to even be able to work, because right now they're starting to shut down cities, and restaurants right now are closed, and schools are closed for weeks or more. I mean, that's the part that's really scary. Not so much this virus that's, you know, unfortunately making this happen. But, yeah, I mean, that's the tough part. It's really tough. But, you know, still trying to do what we can. If we slide over to the cash, you can see that now the APY has gone to 0.3, which is very small. It's a very small amount, where it used to be a whole lot more. But you know, they have no control over that. So we'll get up to that in a second. Let's see if we can look at the transfer. No, I don't want to do that. Orders. See if it'll do anything. I'm kind of doing a lot right now. I'm uploading videos to YouTube right now, as well as rendering videos, so my computer might be a little slow. Okay, so it's all right here. So I bought 2 more shares of Wells Fargo because it dropped quite a bit. If we just glance over to the stock portfolio, Wells Fargo is at $40, so you can see I went down quite a bit by buying a couple at $27. Bought a couple more Ford just because it was so high. Again, I was at like $8. I've dropped down a little bit. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is a lot of these ones that have dipped quite a bit, I'm trying to get them. Kraft, you got to buy more Kraft. Right now they're just cheaper, I'll say, but they also have a really good dividend for how much you're paying. Marathon Oil, because oil's been smacked, and more energy businesses, because they've been smacked as well. And I had a couple bucks left, so I was like, new residential investment. I mean, that's a good one. So I had to cancel it a couple times because it kept going up and it doesn't get as much traffic. So not bad for $150. Got quite a bit of value. I mean, before, like, if we look back months ago, when I was doing $100, I mean, all that gave me was like 2 shares of Altria. $100 before. Trying to see. I mean, $300. Like, I've had to do like big deposits. There we go. So another $100. All it got me was 1 share of British Petroleum, and 1 of AT&T, and 1 of Prudential Bank. I mean, it didn't give me very much, and now I'm getting a lot more value from that. Looking at upcoming dividends, that's a lot that we're looking at right now. 50 cents from Prudential Bank tomorrow. Another 20 cents from my ETF on the marijuana. British Petroleum's paying me. Bank of America. Kraft. See, look at that. Like, that is huge. 8 shares at 40 cents a piece. Yeah, that's some good money. Pepsi's paying me 96 cents. And then Coca-Cola, $1.23 starting in April. So we've already got April that we can start tracking. So this is going really well. I mean, this is what keeps me motivated, even though, see if I can head back, even though it's just, all it's doing right now is going down, I'm still getting paid. I'm still getting money that I can reinvest back in. And that's the big piece into why I do, dividend growth investing, or dividend investing period, is I'm holding an asset that is still paying me money. You know, like gold is an asset, but it doesn't pay you any money. You know, like a watch, a luxury watch like my Rolex, it holds value, but it doesn't make me money. So I think that dividends are kind of a better value than like a growth stock. Yeah, if we look at Tesla, yeah, it's grown quite a lot. Let's see if I can search it really quick. Tesla. Let's see where Tesla's at. Yeah, that went up a little bit, but see if we can go back. Like, granted, if you bought it right here, actually, I think it would have been a little bit farther. Yeah, you're at like $200, and then all of a sudden it spikes, and that would have been the time where you had to sell it to make it worthwhile. So, but you know, again, that's why I'm doing the dividend investing, is because of the fact that I get paid. So that's always really nice. Sliding over to M1 Finance, I'm in a little bit better situation just because of how everything gets spread out. If we look at our activity from today, we only did 11 buys, which is quite a bit less than normal. Let's see if I can activity type. So normally I'm able to do like 50 at a time. I guess this is a time that I only did 21, but this is actually early on. So this is before I really got everything going correctly. So from here on, it's always been like 50, and this wasn't as much. So let's take a look and see what we got this morning. So a lot of these big companies were way undervalued. So I was able to get big chunks of them today. I think because they're way undervalued. So yeah, a little bit different. Not quite sure why it was just those, but I mean, I'm not arguing. If we go into the real estate, probably because real estate was so underperforming right now, or undervalued, but as soon as they go back up, it's going to be pretty nice. But yeah, I'm not hit as hard right now over here. I mean, everything's in the red, but yeah, down 50%. That's just wild. Absolutely wild. So yeah, now if we peek back into the activity, we can kind of see what we've been getting for dividends so far this month. I can't even go back all the way. So here we are. You know, 14. I covered this before, but you know, 14 cents here, 12 cents here, 1, 10, 20, 8, 45. I can't wait till the end of the month to see where we're at. I might, you know, after this is done, I might go through and add it up and see where I'm at. But yeah, it's really cool to see. That's what keeps me motivated here. I will try to get more buys in later. Again, trying to average it out. But yeah, great stuff. If we go into industrials, I think, yeah, Boeing is getting hit really hard right now. They've not been doing well. See if I can look at Boeing. If I look at the last, I have to pan out quite a bit. I mean, they were solidly a $300 company, like up and down here, and then they've just tanked. They're now below $100. Like, that's wild. It's definitely crazy. So that's just what's keeping me motivated, is those dividends. Especially in a time like this, but this is kind of more of an understandable graph on what's going on. Like, this is just keeping track of what my portfolio value is currently, where this one can be a little bit harder to read as far as what's going on, because you have it right here and then all of a sudden it goes down, but I have a positive value. So I think this is what my portfolio is supposed to be, is I've invested $2,600. So it's a little weird. But taking a look at the stock portfolio, as we've seen before, you can kind of see where my dividends are at. I've put a lot into Energy Transfer and a lot into Wells Fargo and Kraft and Ford right now. But as soon as those swing back the other way, it's going to be huge gains. I'm fairly confident of it. Again, I'm no financial advisor. I should probably put this somewhere in the description, but this is just my progress through, my successes and my failures, just documenting it. Taking a look at the dividends, $10 this month is what I'm made so far, and projected, like combined, is $10. Like, it's just crazy every day when I wake up and I see like another company that's going to pay me this month, and it's like, wow, that's something. I mean, if you think about it, like these 2 months combined is half of what I've gotten paid this month. $10 is over twice what I got paid last year. This month alone, next April, just one company is already paying me more than these 2 months combined. Like you can start to see as this graph grows, like it's starting to make these months look absolutely tiny. It's incredible. I also updated this just because it's a fun little thing that I do. Now overall in a year, Ford is going to pay me $7.80, which is now, that could literally buy a new company, like a new share in that company. Kraft is paying me $16. That's a lot of money. Wells Fargo's at $22. Like that is more than a lot of these put together. And then Energy Transfer's now at $18. Altria Group's at $13. Like that's some wild stuff. So $132 is my projected. Obviously it's not going to be exactly that, but it's going to be pretty close. Each time I buy a little bit more of these companies, I get paid a little bit more in these parts down here. So it's really fun. Investing is really fun. So I should have about 25.62 based on cost, but that might not totally be accurate either, but it might be pretty close. But yeah, you can see we're down quite a bit. M1 portfolio, again, no updates here. It's still the same from last month, but it's going to be interesting to see where we're at from last month and see if we got more money paid into us. Portfolio value is finally going to start, like, so far it's been like up, and it'll be something that I kind of cover in this net worth piece, but now we're going to start to see it maybe go down a little bit. Again, I'm pumping money into it, but you just don't see it. So, popping over into the net worth tracker though, you can see that my loans are pretty much about the same right now. I pretty much had to pump the brakes on paying for them. One, because where the market's at, it's I don't know. It's just, I think I should be putting some money in towards that. As soon as I saw the market drop as much as it did, I had to put $1,000 in. So we'll get this paid off soon. I know it definitely will. As soon as the market starts going up, I'm not going to be as inclined to invest in it, because I'm just not going to be getting as much value as paying off these loans. So we'll get back on track eventually. Also, selling my car will help quite a bit, basically moving this over to that. So we'll get this paid off. Values have basically stayed the same. Haven't checked to update anything, but I'm sure it's about the same. We'll check it at the end of the month. And this is kind of the piece that I was talking about. Like, you can see that it's just gone up and up and up and up and up and up. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, what happened? Did you just stop investing? Well, no, if you look, I've put money in. It's just those gains are quickly taken away by how far the market's dropping. I mean, just looking at Wells Fargo alone, I am down $140. I mean, that's quite substantial. So, and this is the same deal. It's like I'm still pumping money in. It's just, I think M1 kind of got has gotten a better break, I should say. So if I look at the activity, there was one buy that was a morning trade on the 26th. Oh, it should be February the 26th. No, it was... Oh, it may have been in March, I think is what it was. Yeah, there we are. The March 9th, I think it was. Yep. Because I deposited the money on a Friday, but it didn't go through. So then it went through on the 9th. But I got a lot more value because the portfolio dropped quite a bit more. So I've kind of gotten lucky on the M1 trading when it did. My retirement account has dwindled completely. Also, it doesn't help that I'm not working at K anymore, where my retirement account's through. So as soon as it goes back up, I'm probably going to pull it out, and I might do like a Roth IRA, but I haven't quite decided yet. Because then it would basically be me splitting it between three. So if I had $300, instead of doing 150 here, 150 here, it would be 100, 100, 100. And then the Roth IRA would be tax advantaged, so that would help. Savings and checking are kind of not necessarily quite accurate currently, but you can see that it plateaued quite hard as far as what my net worth is. I only just updated M1 just a little bit ago, so the $90 is probably closer to current. But yeah, you can just see like how much a difference a positive bull market is compared to a bear market. And again, my debt snowball hasn't really changed much, but it's been a wild time for investing, I tell you. I mean, the news article is the Dow rises 100 points. Like everyone's like, wow, that's great. You know, but there's all these articles of like Tesla having to shut plants and bankers quarantined after Mexico and U.S. small restaurants coronavirus impact. You know, it's just article after article that, you know, and all this really started because I think the media was over talking about the coronavirus, and it's now dropped us to such a huge hit, and it stinks. It really does. But, you know, it gives us a chance to get a market recorrection and get some good value on a lot of companies that I think are worthwhile. So, I recorded this after hours today on purpose, just so there wasn't as much volatility and I could have more consistent numbers. But I still enjoy recording these videos. I love kind of tracking my progress, and I can't wait till this just skyrockets back up and I make all my money back on Wells Fargo and then some, because I bought these companies at like $52 a piece, and I've now dropped like $12 in value, like off the buy price average. So that's great. That'll help quite a bit. So anyway, guys, I appreciate so much for you guys stopping by again and listening to me talk as I go through my portfolio and open up my finances to everyone. Wanted to get this recorded. Back to work tomorrow. Had the day off today for a mental health day. Got paid for it, so that's cool. But I don't know how well that's going to go moving forward. But I'll keep you guys updated. If I put some more money in, I'll probably record another video as I usually do. And hopefully some dividends will pop up on both of them so I can talk about that. But that's what keeps me going. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Stay safe and have a good night.